What up, y'all? It's the kid FortWorthFabian, Big Boss, back with a video for the channel. I'm doing a reaction to Casual Geographic. So I kind of caught wind of Casual Geographic. A lot of reactors do content to his channel, so I wanted to tap in, tune in. Shout out to Mr. L. Boyd Reacts. Excuse me. Yeah, so we're doing Nature is So Disrespectful. That being said, like, comment, subscribe. This is a TikTok compilation. Hit the notification bell. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, FortWorthFabian. It's the road to 1 million subs. Peace, love to everybody who's been rocking with the channel. Check out the playlist page. Get familiar with all the other different forms of content I do on the channel. Peace, love to everybody out there watching, man. Let's get it. Supposedly homie funny, so let's see.
Respectful things nature ever put in the ocean. Here we have a Kardashian, aka a black swallower. This paralysis demon with gills can gobble, swallow, basically Cardi B things that are actually bigger than they are. This deep sea deep throat will shove anything down its gullet and die trying, like a whore. This Caucasian cockroach is an isopod.
Bro went in from the beginning. He ain't waste any time whatsoever. He said the what? The black swallower. He said the Kardashian, brody. Disrespect.
They're related to crabs, and just like them, they have claws that at the worst can give you an unforgiving pinch. But they're only really a threat to your mental health because they can grow to 2.5 feet long. But nothing I say can prepare you for the horrors Reddit has to offer. The bobbit worm is S tier disrespectful. It was actually named after a woman who cut her husband's love hose off. They have scissors for jaws, and they can grow to 10 inches. Oh shit. 10 feet long. It spends its life in the sand, clapping any fish that get too close. It'll grab them, inject them with venom, and drag them back to the depths of hell it spawned from. If this satanic water worm isn't vaulted
Bro, and imagine, like, look at his content, man. Millions of views just off of
in the next patch, then I know nature is not on our side. The sarcastic fringe head is a sick joke with no punchline. These joker guppies will onside any animal that gets caught in their hood. Fringe heads will fade each other by pressing their mouths together in the most sus square up you'll ever see. This fish doesn't even look like it's supposed to exist. It looks like a draft that got leaked. Top 5 animals with black Air Force energy. And number 5, and this might surprise you, but the house cat. House cats are one of the few animals that kill for fun, and they'll go on murking sprees just because, even though they literally have humans to provide for them. They've already made it out the trenches, but they still choose genocide, to the point where they can clap entire species. Number 4 are the demons on wings called geese. They're not the biggest or the most dangerous, but no other bird chooses to be a menace to society more often. At least magpies can be reasoned with. But geese enter the world hating you and your loved ones on a very spiritual level. Facts. Number 3 are chimpanzees. These homicidal tendencies with thumbs commit acts of gang violence on each other, and the outcome is ugly. Because when they jump a rival, they'll tear out the throat and the family jewels. These walking steroids will vibe check anything, and they don't need a reason to.
And I just watched Planet of the Apes the other day, man. It's savage, brutal. Shout out Caesar. Salute to Caesar, my dog.
Orcas don't need a reason either. These Jeffrey Dahmers of the sea are smart enough to bully the entire animal kingdom and big enough to never get checked for it. They G-slap seals to the clouds, violate great white sharks, and are overall menaces to anything in the ocean. Honey badgers are easily number 1 because they will die before they care. No animal has more irrational confidence than a honey badger. It's a roid skunk that steps to lions and hyenas. Honey badger don't give a f. More animals with black Air Force energy. Number 5, rhinos. Because they're legally blind, they overcompensate by choosing assault every time. They literally keep that same energy with lions, trucks, and butterflies because they're born with a disability and they make it the entire world's problem. At 4, we got Tasmanian devils. Named after their temper tantrums, which sound like a...
legally blind. I didn't know rhinos were legally blind. Hey, you learn something new every day.
Satanic prostate exam. These marsupials select violence no matter what the situation, and even the sacred process of mating involves biting, scratching, and a lot of regret. Also, only 4 out of the 30 born will survive. The rest get spawn wiped by the mother. Tigers are one of the pettiest animals alive. They hold grudges, and they will wait years to get their revenge. They've been known to track down hunters that did them dirty and personally take them off the census. Bees are somehow worse because unlike the tiger, which handles fate's dolo, beefing with one bee means you beef with the entire hive. Africanized honeybees will chase ops for up to half a mile. And if you think hiding in water will spare you the vibe check, they'll clap you the moment you come up for air. Cape buffalo are number 1 because they literally have the personality of a melanated Air Force. They will violate you for no reason, but God help you if you give them a reason. They'll purposely lead you into tall grass just to ray rice you into the dirt when you're not looking. Malicious intent. There's such a thing as knowing too much because every once in a while I find out something that makes me want to eye wash with holy water. Here's 3 facts that made me want to purge my internet history. I'll never forget the day I found out that dolphins will actively try to take the innocence of people like Demi Moore. And of course, this also led me to the fact that dolphins have 12-inch retractable spunk cannons. And they're prehensile, meaning they have a fleshy pink hand that they can use to reach and grab things they're not supposed to. Things like living eels. Fact number 2, something about a tank with antlers being able to dive 20 feet just seems illegal. Knowing that a whole moose can pull up on you underwater is bad enough. And only one thing can possibly make it worse. It's the fact that they can end up getting clapped by orcas. Moose and overgrown homicide dolphin is a crossover that nobody ever asked for. But by far the most disturbing animal fact I've ever learned, and this one's bad. It's everything about this. For every penguin you see, a seal just sees a feathery fleshlight because that's how they treat them. And watching a seal bump and grind while the penguin soullessly lays there and takes it while his homies no doubt slut shame and make me seriously question the way I see the world. bump and grind. Where did I hear that from? Of course he did. Animals that are much, much meaner than you think.
Are you looking for a way to increase your current
You know,
income but don't have...
the funny thing about nature, animals overall, is people tend to limit the capability. You know what I'm saying? It's like nature will mess you up if you misstep and you're just uneducated and ignorant to the fact. You know, a lot of things in nature kill people every single day, and it's just because a mother was clueless. He just didn't know what was happening, what was going on. He walked right into it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about animals, nature, Mother Nature, Mother Earth. Don't underestimate, a lot of these landists or natural earthists, the people who like to live off the land. A lot of them are definitely educated to an extent, but a lot of these folks who just like want to catch an extreme, want to go on a vacation, do some visit, be educated about where you're going and what you're doing. The wildlife in that particular part, maybe poisonous plants, poisonous things that are growing out of the ground. Who knows, man? Just educate yourself, bro. Because, I can't tell you the countless stories I've watched on like Mr. Ballin, other reaction channel content, to where stories of people who fell into some poison ivy or picked a berry, tasted a mushroom because they thought it was sanitary. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just had no idea.
Will sight wipe any babies and then beat and bully any pregnant females to force them to miscarry. This equality donkey will proceed to catch another charge by forcing itself on her. You might be wondering why we never tried to ride zebras. Simple. They'd kick your lights out if you even tried to approach them with a saddle because this tiger pony has rage issues. Penguins are sins with wings. Their moral rap sheet includes adultery, prostitution, child abuse, and cell block D'ing each other. But the worst crimes are the ones they commit on children. Penguin mothers that lose their chick will fill that vast empty void inside them by stealing someone else's baby. But I guess the void isn't that empty because after a couple days they'll abandon a newly adopted chick to either starve or become a feathery popsicle. Also, these tuxedo chickens will stick their phallus in anything, and unfortunately, penguin chicks are anything. Squirrels are vicious baby-faced psychopaths. Male red squirrels will erase any babies he sees, sometimes squad-wiping an entire generation. The murder rodent will cannibalize the children and shoot a shot at the tragedy-stricken mother in an attempt to recreate the family that he just took off the census. They are not to be trusted. Here are some animals that really said, F them kids. Fun fact, we spend millions of dollars keeping this overstuffed Oreo alive just for them to be F-tier parents. If she has twins, she'll flip a coin and raise only one. The other one has no choice but to go F itself. Pandas aren't endangered, but sometimes it feels like they want to be. You know exactly where this is going. When chased by a predator, the mother quokka will relax the muscles in its pouch to allow the baby, called a joey, to fall out. Since this distracts the predator, the mother will get away while her baby suffers a third-party abortion. Mother of the year, but guess what? Kangaroos and wallabies will do the exact same thing. You watch this show, it literally happened to him in the theme song. If a mother hedgehog senses a disturbance, she'll eat her children. The idea is that the nutrients are better off going back into her body than to a predator. Logically makes sense. Morally, it makes her Casey Anthony with spikes. Baby birds typically get hugged by their parents. The baby shoebill stork will bully its little brother until he's nothing but a memory and a pile of feathers. Not only will the mother deliberately watch this happen, she'll only feed the stronger, meaner chick. Maybe if she got a welfare check, she'd be a better parent. But there's no checks in the wallet, so it's curtains, kid. Some of the weirdest animals people have been ended by. A beaver caught a body when a 60-year-old fisherman tried to take a picture of the ungrateful rodent. Fun fact, actually really sad fact, the same teeth they use to bring down teeth can put you on life support. The beaver severed an artery in his leg and he couldn't stop the bleeding, so that was an obituary.
Bro, I'm not getting taken out by a beaver. I'm beating the brakes off a beaver, bro. Ain't no way a beaver gonna kill me. I'm picking up a branch. I'm getting a shovel. I'm knocking its lights out. What's that game called? Whack-a-mole? That's what we doing to the beaver, bro.
Death by beaver. A Spanish popcorn star got clapped by a toad by inhaling its psychedelic poison. He used a pipe to inhale the powerful bufotoxin that is so potent it's literally called a god molecule. But then he got so elevated his soul divorced his body and never came back. Remember, kids, don't do drugs. Unless you're on Wall Street, but in that case use baking soda like an adult, don't do toad. Alexander I was the king of Greece who ruled from 1917 to 1920. And out of all the things that could have canceled his life, war, disease, a jealous ex, the one thing that put his face on the picture frame was a monkey. He was walking his dog when a Barbary macaque assaulted his German shepherd. Like any respectable dog owner, he stepped in and pulled the monkey off of his dog. But when he did, he basically got snuck by a second monkey. He got bit and later developed a severe infection. Doctors didn't want to be blamed for his death, so they didn't even try with him, so the king of Greece aspired to monkey bite. C's, but with me as a teacher.
Boy got infected.
A is for Arthur, who was actually an aardvark. B is for no, that's not a real bird. C is for coke weasel, which is the best way to describe this. D is for dinosaur and drag, which is literally what this is. E is for everyone's favorite animal, and if it isn't, you're wrong. F is for frilled shark, also stands for is this. G is for gay, which 90% of giraffes are. H is for hell, where this forbidden Pokemon spawned from. I is for iguana, but if you told me it was baby Godzilla, I'd believe you. J is for jaguar. K is for kite, which this kangaroo will send you to the clouds like. L is for the one this outback ostrich handed the entire country of Australia. M is for murder horse. N is for narwhal. O is for ocelot, which raised a certain pharmacist. P is for platypus, which violated the same pharmacist. Q is for quokka. R is for trash panda. S is for sloth. T is for Taz the homicidal Looney Tune. U is for Yukari. V is for Vaquita. W is for Wumbo, which moose are. X is for X-ray fish. Y is for why does this exist? Z Zorilla, giving animals rice purity scores.
Dude did the whole
Dogs are an easy
alphabet.
100. You can argue they're the most selfless animal in the world, and they'd easily give their lives for people that probably don't deserve it. Horses are a 95. They can easily rock us if they wanted to, but they're such gentle giants that we all just let it slide. Now, the reason they're not higher, Google what animal causes the most deaths in Australia, and you'll
Look,
see why.
Photoshop.
Sharks are a 75. Reason horses are a 95. They
The horse is squeezing the cheeks.
can easily rock us if they wanted to, but they're such gentle giants that we all just let it slide. Now, the reason they're not higher, Google what animal causes the most deaths in Australia, and you'll see why. Sharks are a 75 because although they can be dangerous, one, they're just trying to eat like the rest of us, and two, they kill less than 5 people a year. There are much worse things in the ocean, and one of them's on this list. Hippos are a 45 because they seem to have beef with everything. They'll maul you for no reason, and they'll actively abort any baby hippos they see. You gotta have a severe moral deficiency to use lethal force on something that wasn't even alive 3 days ago. Also, they will resort to cannibalism. This might surprise you, but zebras are just above them. Zebras are incredibly vicious, and they also spawn kill. They'll also assault and bully any pregnant females to force them to miscarry just so they can mate with them. They're black and white, but their sense of morality is
That's savage,
Ducks are
bro.
a 30
I
because
think
when
he
you're
just covered
constantly
that one
evolving to
earlier.
perfect the art of cosbying each other, you're not going to get a lot of points from me. I can make a whole video on how morally bankrupt dolphins are, but the worst part is they're smart enough to know exactly what they're doing, so these humans of the sea get a 5. Giving animals rice purity scores. Elephants are an easy 100 on the pure scale, and if one does something to you, I promise you deserved it. Honey badgers are an 80 because they believe
That's
in equality.
cap.
No matter who you are or where you came from, the honey badger will hate you and your loved ones on a very personal level, and will act accordingly. This alpha weasel is actually an equalizer, a chaotic neutral, a harbinger of destruction but a symbol of equal rights and equal fades. Meerkats are a 15 because no other mammal wakes up and
All the
chooses murder
smoke.
more often. But for real, Google it, they lead mammals in homicide. The alpha female will abort the children of her rivals and force those same mothers to raise her children, like Casey Anthony got reincarnated as a Serengeti bush rat. Penguins are a 12 because they check every depraved box. Grape without a G, prostitution, child abuse, but the worst is that they'll commit atrocities on dead females. A scientist once placed a disembodied frozen head of a penguin to see if males would respond. And they responded, with their penis. That same scientist went on to make a therapist very rich.
May I play with?
Savage, man. Savage. That's what I'm telling you. Natural, like the animal kingdom. You know what I mean? I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like nature is different. 1,000% different. Imagine like a mom killing her children for her own survival. I mean, we do see that going on in today's society. I mean, look at the Lori Vallow case. You know what I mean? But a predator attacking a mother's kids, and she kills them herself and eats them, believing that the nutrients will give her more benefits than having the predator kill her children off. Like, imagine.
They do the same things penguins do, but since they also Cosby baby seals, you can add pedo business and bestiality to its purity rap sheet. They also can't tell the difference between a consenting female and a lifeless
Bestiality.
corpse. Here's what the toughest animals are afraid of. I know what you're thinking, but it's not mice. Elephants are terrified of bees and will get visibly agitated when they hear the buzz of a beehive. That's because a swarm of African bees with hood mentality can drop an elephant, and that's also why farmers use fake hives to scare elephants away from their fields. Sharks fear dolphins, and for good reason. Pods of dolphins will attack and ram sharks hard enough to cause internal injuries. And dolphins will go out of their way to bully sharks for no reason, even playing volleyball with baby sharks just because.
Man.
I didn't even mention the way they get eviscerated by
Hey,
orcas.
come on, man.
Believe it or not, hyenas actually fear lions. That's because lions have been known to get
They
eviscerated
wouldn't-
their way to bully sharks.
Let's keep it a bean. A dolphin is not playing around with a great white shark. I said a great. A dolphin is not playing around with a great white shark, man. Come on, let's think about it. Let's think about it. Baby sharks possibly, but
For no reason, even playing volleyball with baby sharks just because. I didn't even mention the way they get eviscerated by orcas. Believe it or not, hyenas actually fear lions. That's because lions have been known to paralyze hyenas and leave them to suffer, not even granting them the sweet release of death. They'll stand up to them if they have a numbers advantage, but Simba's body odor is enough to get a hyena laughing in fear, which they actually do. Wolves have been known to stand up to bears and cougars, but they're actually afraid of the most dangerous animal in us. Wild wolves would rather beat a dash than be near a homicidal
us.
hairless primate armed with thumbs and guns. So for us, the most dangerous wolves are the ones on Wall Street. Animals are afraid of, Part 2. A lot of horses have a fear of water. especially if they can't see how deep it is or if the bottom is muddy or rocky. Horses are wired to avoid uncertain ground, especially since breaking a leg is an unpardoned death sentence. Goats also hate water. It's possible they evolved to hate getting their hooves wet since slipping and falling would make them vulnerable to predators. Not only do gorillas also distrust water, they've been recorded showing fear towards insects and reptiles. Gorillas have been seen going out of their way to avoid caterpillars and chameleons. Llamas hate and fear dogs because they remind them of predators like coyotes and the fox. Which is good because guard llamas can protect your farm from coyotes and feral dogs. It's bad when a llama racially profiles your dog and bicycle kicks it to another area code. Emus are also dog racists because they constantly get pressed by dingoes. Cats really don't like snakes. Even though cats like leopards can kill a python, they'll typically avoid them because the risk of getting bit is just too high. If a cat takes down a snake, it's probably because the snake pressed him first. Cats are genetically hardwired to not trust snakes, so the fastest way to humble your cat is to pull out a cucumber. Not like that.
This kid. Okay. So that right there is nature is so disrespectful, man. Let me know y'all thoughts on that one in the comment section down below. Peace, love, prosperity, everybody rocking with the channel that is Casual Geographics. Interesting. I don't know, I was looking at his channel and checking out a lot of his other videos. How to survive any animal attack. Seems like a lot of these are just like montages or a mixture of a lot of these other videos. But if you want me to do more of these, comment down below. If you have additional recommendations, comment down below. Peace, love, prosperity. We'll catch you guys in the next video, man. We out.